Johnny Walker's been getting what the kids online call hate, right? Now, if you go get a social media account, it's the reason that most adults don't let their children have them. People don't go to social media to be nice. You go to somebody's face to be nice so that they can see you're being nice, so that they can then like you and maybe do something nice for you down the road. Nobody goes to social media just to be nice. That's a broad stroke. But the point is, to the point that most parents don't let their children even engage in it. Now, when those parents themselves or those adults themselves decide to do it, and then they got Mr. Surprise look on their face because somebody was mean to them over Twitter or Instagram, I'm kind of looking around going, that's what it's for. That's 100% what people go on there to do, to voice an opinion, to give a Yelp-type review from across the country or the world under the guise of an acronym. Okay. So Johnny found out the hard way, and Johnny's getting teased. And Johnny got teased to the point that Johnny's wife had to come out and speak up. Now, I think it's his fiance. Very sweet move, though. In all fairness, Johnny's got himself a very good woman there. Very good partner. But it also got to the point that Jamal Hill spoke up. Jamal Hill came out and said, if you guys are teasing Walker in support of me because you're my fans, if putting him down is your way of raising me, I don't want you. It was a really great piece by Jamal. It was very raw and it was very real. He did not do this for a PR stunt. He did not do this so we'd all say that was a cool move. You could tell the authenticness and you could tell the sincerity. I like Jamal Hill a lot. I think that he's got a bright future, but this added to it. He wasn't a baby about it. He stayed in character. He handled it like a tough guy would do, but he also handled it the way that a sportsman should. Nobody should be putting your opponent down, and Jamal even said that someday that's going to be me. I'm going to have a fight that's going to matter to me. I've already had them. I've had fights that I wanted to win, and I came out second, and you got to regroup. Give him his shot. He's out there trying. He showed up prepared. He took a shot that was... And that's another thing that's tough for me. I watched Ben Askren get teased by people, and I feel as though you have to ask yourself one question. If you can pass this test, tease away. I won't say anything. But if you can't, I think this is the litmus test. If you can't, could have you taken the shot? When Masvidal put Askren down in 5 seconds, could you have taken that shot? Because I grew up on a farm, and I had horses that could not take that shot. It was one of the most devastating and fastest, and the one that really gets you is the one that you don't expect. Do you think anywhere as Askren's playing that fight through in his head, leading into that competition, he thought Masvidal was going to run across the ring, jump in the air, and throw in it? Right? It had every single element. Down you go. Of course you went down. But the same thing goes with what Jamal did. I did not think it was that hard of a shot. I didn't think it was set up. I didn't think it was all that beautiful of a shot. I really did not. I thought the effectiveness of the shot is that it hit him on the temple. I think if Jamal gave him that exact same power and hit him right in the forehead, it's just one of a combination. I think if he gave him that exact same power and dug down to the kidney or dug down to the liver, I think it's just one shot in a combination. It would have been followed up. I think it was that he hit him in the temple. That's my own opinion. But it's also the reason that I would never give Johnny a hard time. I watch fights for the same reason you guys do, from the negative aspect. I want to see somebody fail. And sure, that's just a piece. I want to see the techniques, and I want to see the story, and I want to see the development, and I want to see somebody succeed, but I want to see who's going to fail. This is conflict with conflict resolution. The same reason that court TV works, that Judge Judy and Judge Wapner get off the air and stay there for as long as they did, is you have conflict, and then you have resolution to the conflict, all in one evening. And if you tune in early, you can get that up to 11 times a night. That's what we understand. We understand that. Conflict and conflict resolution, we understand more than we do a left followed by a leg kick, a takedown into a guillotine. The part that people like about the sport, they don't even know that they like about the sport. I've had this challenge with people where I will tell you how important communication is. I will tell you how important that post-fight interview is. How much I enjoy the packages beforehand so that I know what I'm watching and why it's important to the people involved. And other people have told me, no, Chael, you're wrong. I don't care who's commentating. I don't need to see any of that. I love the actual sport. Well, you now go in the category of a weird guy. If you like to see people get hurt or hurt other, you're a weird guy. But secondly, I challenge people, and these are complete strangers. Complete strangers who could easily double cross me, and I'll send them $50 through PayPal. But I have called them on it when they said that they don't need the talk. And I've said, I want you to watch the next pay-per-view. I'm going to pay for it. But you're going to make me one deal. You're going to watch it on mute. You are going to watch it in absolute silence, since that's not the part that you like anyway. And they quickly realized, oh my gosh, Chael, you're right. I didn't know that I liked it, but you're right. I do like it, and I do need it. And it's a very much a piece to the story. Because as much as you're seeing conflict and conflict resolution, it's a story that's playing out in front of you. So a lot of times people don't know what they want. And when you do look at Johnny's fiance having stuff, that's a good girl right there. My wife would have done the same thing. I can tell you stories where that's backfired. I don't know how this is going to play out. That's going to be up to you guys. I don't know. I had a teammate, I'll leave his name out of it. Very good, went on to be a world champion. My teammate meets a girl who he ends up marrying 6 days later on something the kids call Craigslist. So she swoops in and becomes his manager. Gets my teammate to fire the team and the crew that he had been with for a meaningful period of time. She then calls up the organization. She introduces herself and says, from now on, if you want to deal with my husband, it comes through me. Person on the other end of the line, whose name I will also leave out, said, that's wonderful. Do you have a fax machine? She said, yes, I do. He said, what is the number? She gave him the number. Right there on the phone, she could hear him inserting the 10-digit and hit send. She said, what are you sending over? Guy said, I'm sending over your husband's release. Your first job as a new manager in this industry is to get him a fight, and hung up the phone. So I've seen those things backfire. Do you guys remember Buff Bagwell? Buff Bagwell was one of the great entertainers during WCW and WWE days. He did a great job. He was charismatic as all hell. He ends up getting absorbed when Vince bought WCW. He ends up on the WWE roster. Something happens. He misses a town, or he misses 2 dates. Something happens, not good with the organization, and his mother called the office. His mother called Titan Tower. Vince released him. There was something about that. And I ended up in that same spot. When I tell you my wife would have done it, my mother did do it. It's right when email was new. Email came along in like 1994, but people didn't really have it till like 1996 and 1997, where it was a real common thing. And then my mother, who lived out in the sticks, she was still like another year. So she sets up an email under a fake name. It's like the first 3 letters of my dad's first name, and then the first 3 of her middle name, and then the last 2 of their last. It was just a weird name. Well, she thought that she was anonymous when she was sending that. So she goes to a promoter that I had. She's talking about this. I saw this Chael Sonnen fight, and he was such a star. She's laying it on thick, and whatever it was that the promoter did wrong, and I think what the promoter did wrong is he didn't provide me with a copy of the fight afterwards, and he promised to. It was like something really simple, and somehow she inserted herself. Now, what she didn't know is that when she hit send on an email, there's something known as an auto reply, where it says Claudia Sonnen. So I tell her, mother, please don't contact that promoter. It makes me look very bad. And that's when she tells me that she's hatched a plan. No, don't worry. Never know it's me. I said, mother, please go to your computer now. She said, I said, send yourself an email, please. Just email yourself hello. So she does. It comes through, pops up Claudia Sonnen. I never fought for that promotion again. That's my story.